Good morning. I call this meeting of the Pinellas County School Board, July 16, 2024, to order. While you might just see 6 of us up here, there are 7. Mrs. Meyer has joined us on Zoom. I'm glad she could be here. We will begin with an invocation led by Pastor Lucas Hillman from Grace Christian Fellowship Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Vice Chair Carol Cook, and the National Anthem. Please stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the National Anthem. Pastor Hillman, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Superintendent Hendrick, Chairwoman Hine, and board members and staff. Thank you for having me. Let's begin with a word of prayer together. Dear Heavenly Father, we give you thanks and praise for the gift of this day. May we seek to honor you with all that lies ahead. And although there is much to do, much to accomplish and plan for, we ask that you guide and achieve your ends through this time. Your word to us says to be ready to do whatever is good, to slander no one, to be peaceable and considerate, and always be gentle towards everybody. Acknowledging we cannot fulfill any of these requirements without your divine grace, O Lord, grant what you require this day. Indeed, in all things, may we seek to imitate your love for us. This moment, Father, we pray for the students of Pinellas County, each one created by you in your image with dignity and worth. Protect them, provide for them, allow them to grow into maturity and wisdom. As they prepare for the upcoming year, administer your peace. Be with parents, grandparents, family members, and friends who will care and do what they are able to support and assist their students' journey. Grant that each student would have a network of people who know and love them. Likewise, we pray on behalf of our teachers, staff, and volunteers and their families. Grant them the refreshment they need to continue in order to invest in the lives around them. Give attention to their needs. Provide for them according to your abundance. May the work they put their hands to prosper. You have told us to pray for those with the responsibility to lead, influence, and shape our communities, cities, and people. So, Lord, we pray for those who are entrusted to lead. We pray for clarity. For those who are called to bear the weight of leadership that are in this room and beyond. May we all honor you and our neighbor with our decisions. We give thanks that you have appointed these to teach, lead, and care for our community. Grant them wisdom, discernment, and unity so that our schools, faculties, teams, and families may flourish according to your wisdom and design. In all things, all decisions, all speech, all action, may your goodness and mercy go before us, follow behind us, and indeed surround us. It is in your lovely, holy, and precious name we pray these things. Amen. Amen.
Please be seated, and I'm just going to note again because I love it. That is our teacher staff choir singing the national anthem, and they are amazing, so I love seeing that. The next item on our agenda. So in the summer, Pinellas County Schools are having Pinellas County students are having amazing experiences in our summer camps, from marine science to filmmaking and everything in between. This morning, we're going to take a look at Elementary STEM Explorer Camp and growing interest in veterinary science through a dog grooming camp. It's really amazing. Let's take a look.
So the Summer STEM Explorer program is part extension of what we do during the school year. We bring in some new activities. We are doing the Maker Kit drones where they actually build the drones themselves and then they fly them. We also have rocket launchers.
I liked the rockets because mine went like so far. I'm excited about second grade. I like science.
Yeah, it's fun activities every day and you learn some math while you're here. It's fun building things together and make them actually work and see your progress.
The purpose of the summer program is for them to continue having fun and realize that they are learning while they're having fun. There's like no limit to what they can do with STEM. If they have a problem and they have materials, they can solve it through deductive reasoning skills and problem solving.
So this is an intro to dog grooming camp, and so this is something we're offering so that students can get an idea of some of the skills they might learn if they are interested in entering the veterinary science program here at Tarpon Springs High School. Some of the skills that they might learn in the beginning are how to groom dogs. The students here are learning how to care for the ears. We go into the anatomy.
I just love being able to connect with different little animals and learn more about the grooming, and especially like connecting and understanding more about these animals. Also, the hands-on experience we have.
I hope that it's fun for them. I hope that they learn some skills that they can use in their everyday life. I hope that they understand that there's more to having a pet than just buying dog food.
Because seeing all these animals and seeing like the impact it has on them is like insane, and how sweet and how awesome it is to help and be able to do something like this.
Just wonderful. Every parent or student I've spoken with this summer have loved their camps. So let's keep it up. It's wonderful. Next item on the agenda, introduction of professional and community organization representatives. Isabel Mascarenas, our public information officer.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, Mr. Hendrick, and staff. It is my pleasure to introduce the following representatives of community and professional organizations. Representing the Pinellas Educational Support Professionals Association, or PESPA, Jamie Beck. From the Pinellas Classroom Teachers Association, Lee Bryant, President. Representing the North Pinellas League of Women Voters, Connie Colosi and Debbie Entrikin. And from the Pinellas Arts for a Complete Education Coalition, Maria Athanasoulis. Thank you.
Thank you. Amendments to the agenda. Mr. Hendrick, any amendments to the agenda?
There are no amendments, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Board members, any amendments to the agenda? Seeing none, may I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
A motion by Mrs. Long and a second by Mrs. Kane. All those in favor of adopting the agenda say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes
Aye.
7. Thank you. Passes 7-0. I'll be a little more patient. We don't have any items on the special order agenda today. On to public comments. Mrs. Howe, do we have any speakers to agenda items today?
No, Madam Chair, there are no speakers for agenda items.
Thank you. We don't have any unfinished business, so for our consent agenda, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Peters and a second by Mrs. Cook. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Passes 7-0. We have one item on our non-consent agenda today, item 8.1, setting a public hearing and authorizing the advertisement of the public hearing to consider the amendment to policy 2460, exceptional student education, and 5630.01, seclusion and restraint of students with disabilities. This is a first reading. May I have a motion to approve this item? I have a motion from Mrs. Edmond and a second from Mrs. Long. Mr. Hendrick, would you introduce this item, please?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As the board knows, as we shared at a recent workshop, the policies and procedures for students with disabilities comes before the board always sort of in arrears after the state makes some changes to their own policies and then asks districts to bring theirs up to speed. We always do follow the law as the law changes, and so here to talk about our policy is our Director of Strategic Planning and Policy, Leanna Eisen, and work through some of the changes. Mrs. Eisen.
Good morning, Madam Chair, school board members, Superintendent Hendrick, staff, and community. Today we're proposing amendment to policies 2460, exceptional student education, and 5630.01, seclusion and restraint of students with disabilities. Today I'll begin with an overview of the specific process for revising policy 2460, which is driven by the Florida Department of Education. Every 3 years, Florida statute requires districts and school boards to submit the procedures for instruction and services to ESE students and families. The process and documents are referred to as the ESE Policies and Procedures, or ESE PMP. State and federal funding are dependent on the Florida Department of Education's approval of the district's PMP. The process for amending Policy 2460 begins with the Florida Department of Education's release of the ESE PMP form. PCS staff respond to the FDOE questionnaire about our district practices, and then district staff engages with the Department of Education in iterative revisions to the form based on their feedback. Then the FDOE approves the document and requires school boards to incorporate it into policy, which is PCSB Policy 2460. The district is on track to meet the state deadline for school board approval on August 30th, 2024. Due to the nature of the iterative process with the state, there will be changes to the PMP between the time this agenda item was posted on July 9th and second reading on August 21st. The specific policy amendments to Policy 2460, exceptional student education, reflect new revision date and effective date of the ESE PMP. While the school board policy appears to have a lapse between effective dates, PCS is and has remained in compliance with all state and federal ESE requirements. The PMP is incorporated into the school board policy by reference that I previously described, and the substantive changes to the PMP are detailed in the agenda item. The changes are primarily in parts 1 and 2 and the appendices B and C. The second policy amendment we're proposing is 5630.01, seclusion and restraint of students with disabilities. The amendments are a result of legislative changes in 2022. We waited for the DOE to release the new ESE PNP, which was this year, because we knew there would be implications to our PMP, and we would require then a school board policy change to 2460. And we can't make changes to the PMP or 2460 until the DOE gives us access to that form. So again, we've remained in compliance with all state and federal requirements as law supersedes local policy. Legislation was updated to prohibit the use of seclusion, prohibit mechanical restraint, and limit the use of restraint in education and discipline. There are technical changes in formatting throughout this policy, but the substantive changes are prohibiting the use of seclusion, defining mechanical restraint and prohibiting mechanical restraint, and adding a section specifically identifying revisions to the Department of Education governed policies and procedures, which also updates the requirement to make changes to the PMP within 90 days of revision, as opposed to January 31st of each year. We recommend setting a public hearing on these two policies for August 21st.
Thank you, Mrs. Eisen. Is there any discussion from the board? Seeing none, we have a motion on the floor to approve item 8.1. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 7-0. New business, items introduced by the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to start today by just highlighting about 2 hours ago here in this room, through a partnership with St. Petersburg College, we celebrated on a signing day for 30 teacher apprentices. These are Pinellas County Schools employees who have worked in paraprofessional or other support jobs who are on their way to becoming full-time classroom teachers. They have 2-year degrees, and through a partnership with St. Petersburg College over the next 2 years, they will earn their bachelor's degree as they work side by side with a Pinellas County mentor teacher as co-teachers. Many of them in the same schools, they have served as support professionals for many years. We are so excited about the partnership. We're grateful for St. Petersburg College and the support that they've given. There were several board members that were able to make it earlier. What a joyous occasion to see their families, their principals, their mentor teachers here supporting them on the start of this journey. And can't wait to, in 2 years from now, tell you we have 30 new teachers who are going to be working here in Pinellas County Schools, and we'll have to fill those support positions on the backside. Last week, the Florida Department of Education released the 2024 district and school level results for various assessments. We have reported on those a number of times from what we see on our end, but now we see district by district comparisons and school by school comparisons. We are very proud of the results that Pinellas County Schools students and teachers achieved in the 23-24 school year. Among the 10 largest districts in the state of Florida, which we typically benchmark ourselves against, Pinellas County Schools students finished first in English language arts proficiency. Pinellas County School students finished first in mathematics proficiency, and first in civics, and first in 5th grade science. Those are remarkable achievements for our students in our schools, and we're very, very proud of their efforts. You can see our Pinellas County Schools website for more details on those district by district comparisons, and we look forward to the State Board of Education releasing the school and district grading scales next week in their meeting on Thursday, and then shortly thereafter, school and district grades will occur. Also in the last few weeks, I'm excited and pleased to share that Pinellas County Schools has renewed its district-wide accreditation status. With the recent announcement, the district was awarded accredited status by the Cognia Global Accreditation Commission. To earn this accreditation, a school district must implement a continuous process of improvement and submit to an internal and external review. The district earned an Index of Education Quality score of 355, which 300 is indicating the highest level of performance, and this was much higher than our achievement when we received our last accreditation. We're very proud of the work of our district's efforts of continuous improvement, and also excited that our student diplomas now have value internationally across the world. Summertime, in addition to summer camps and opportunities for students to catch up on learning, is also a time for teachers for training. And last week, it was great to have 2 major events in our district. One, ESET 2, which is elevating and celebrating effective teachers and teaching, and the other was our School Climate, Behavior, and Mental Health Institute. Literally over 1,000 teachers participated in training last week at the 2 venues. I want to thank USF St. Petersburg for opening up their campus for ESET 2, where we heard from 2002 National Teacher of the Year, Kurt Russell, and he had a great keynote address, and we had many keynote addresses at the Mental Health and Climate Institute, addressing suicide prevention, supporting students in crisis, school-wide behavior plans, and much more. And I want to thank our teachers and staff who attended the trainings. Oftentimes it is nice to have downtime, but it's also great to refresh and catch up and hone your skills. And so that was last week. This week, over 1,000 more teachers are attending training at a variety of places, including from our digital learning team, who are taking a deep dive into artificial intelligence this week and helping teachers understand the power of those tools for them to make their jobs easier. And also we have our annual Autism Institute that we have a number of teachers attending training this week. So thank you to our teachers and our staff who put on those trainings, and all the teachers who facilitate them and attend them. Next week, after our school board workshop on the 23rd, we'll have our next Listen and Learn session. It's an opportunity for staff, students, families, and community members to join us. This one will be on Tuesday, July 23rd at 5:30 p.m. at Oak Grove Middle School. You can join in person or via live stream, and you can find out more information about that event on our website. And speaking of our website, the start of school is, yes, less than a month away. And so we have some information for back to school guides for families and students. You can find that on our website. The first day of school this year is Monday, August 12th. The webpage includes calendars, information, registration, immunizations, transportation, school meals, and much more. And finally, I'd like to honor the superintendent standout for this meeting, who's been recognized for demonstrating core values by another colleague, and this one is Mr. Cedric Sapp, a medical behavior specialist at Richard L. Sanders ESE Center. Mr. Sapp has been with Sanders for 5 years, and a colleague recently noted that he is an amazing teacher and mentor to his students. He goes above and beyond the call of duty to ensure his students are learning, feel safe, and feel respected, and serves as a role model for them. Even though he's not officially a teacher, you wouldn't know it, as he takes the time to work one-on-one with his students, teaching them and being very kind and patient while doing so, much more than we ask of him every day. Thank you, Mr. Sapp. Hopefully you'll be in the teacher apprenticeship program soon as well. We thank all of our employees for the work that they do each and every day. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Board members, or excuse me, school board attorney?
I wouldn't want you to pass me
That's
over
right.
this
That's
time,
right.
so
Excuse me.
I'm happy to report I have no report today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kapersky. Any items introduced by the board?
I noted no items.
We're Mrs. Edmond.
I jumped the gun?
You jumped the gun. You jumped the gun, Mrs.
Mr.
Woodburn.
Kapersky.
It's all right. I skipped. You jumped. We got it. We got it. We're together. Mrs. Edmond.
Thank you, Superintendent Hendrick, for highlighting all of the professional development that both support professionals as well as educators have been participating in. Having the opportunity to attend the school climate behavior mental health as well as ESET 2. It's just amazing the energy that you feel being around our staff and how happy they are to obtain new knowledge that they can bring back to their classrooms. And seeing some of the people who have never provided professional development raise their hand and like, yeah, today is my first time leading this training and I'm excited. So it's really an opportunity to see how people are growing through Pinellas County Schools and providing opportunities for leadership. So I just want to recognize that because that's happening here. And as it relates to the SPC teacher apprenticeship, that was another amazing highlight for both SPC and the school district because there is a teaching shortage. And when we think about recruitment and retention and ability to grow, we're offering that right here in Pinellas County Schools. So thank you for that as well. I had the opportunity to attend Pinellas Technical Nursing Program's pinning ceremony, and it's always great to just see the joy on the graduates' faces as well as the pride that the family and teachers have after the completion of over 1,500 hours in coursework. So if you are looking for additional education or interested in pursuing the nursing field, I encourage you to check out the offerings at Pinellas Technical College because opportunity does start here with them. Also, I had the opportunity to attend the Epic Chef Kickoff, which is held by Feeding Tampa Bay. Feeding Tampa Bay supports several of our food pantries as well as they host food distributions within the community, and they have a hot meal cafe for families and individuals as well. I've asked Mrs. Haupt to reach out to everyone to see if you're interested in touring their new facility located in Tampa. And I think it's important to highlight our partnerships. That's something that I see that we're doing well. You also mentioned Mr. Hendrick hosting at USF and SPC partnerships as well. I just think it's very important to realize that we're not operating in a silo and the opportunity to collaborate with the district is here. It's available. So thank you for your leadership on that. And last but not least, I encourage the community to join us for the Listen and Learn session that's going to be held on July 23rd, 5:30 at Oak Grove Middle School. There will be a live option, virtual option available for those who can't make it in person. And we'll be traveling throughout the county with different school board members and Superintendent Hendrick available to answer your questions and just hear from you. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Edmond. Any other board members? No, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. It did. Mrs. Cook.
All right.
In case you're unaware, there's an election coming up. And we have some school board seats that are up for election, but the Pinellas County Council of PTAs, in partnership with the League of Women Voters, is holding a candidates forum on Monday night. And it is from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, I think it is, somewhere around in there, at Allendale United Methodist Church. They're hosting it for us. It's so important that we make sure that we know who we're voting for rather than just a name or something that they've read in the newspaper. Come and hear for yourself what the candidates are all about. So I encourage you to come. The election is August 20th for the primary, and more importantly, please make sure you go and vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Cook. You know, our school board has set a priority on excellence and opportunity for every single child across this district as we've worked on our strategic plan over the last several years. And to hear Mr. Hendrick share the information of our school results, we are all very proud of that work. And I want to say thank you and well done. And I want to ask all of you to spread the good word, to spread the good word that Pinellas County Schools is thriving. And tell folks, you know, it isn't too late. You can go to your local school starting in August, but enroll now so that we can be ready. But I'm very proud of our schools. My children are having an excellent education experience, and I know that yours will too. And congratulations to our district on a job very well done. Back to school, less than a month, and we're back to school. There are so many ways that the community can engage to get us and our students ready for that, whether it's through the Pinellas Education Foundation, the Juvenile Welfare Board, junior leagues, Rotaries, Kiwanis clubs. There are many community organizations that are involved in getting school supplies for children, feeding children, whatever we need to do to make sure that every single student in this district is ready to go back to school on August 12th. So I just want to encourage you, find something in your local community to help. Even better yet, go to your school. We have 128 schools in this district. You have one probably just a mile or two away from your home. So find your local school and just knock on the door and say, what can I do for you? Because that's what our schools mostly need. And I will see our colleagues Tuesday at the workshop. I look forward to it. Oh, Mrs. Long.
I just have to tell all of you, last week and tomorrow and Thursday, I'm doing the Read the Bus with Juvenile Welfare Board. Last week, it was incredible. We had 4 stops, and the first one was from 1 to 3-year-olds. When those kids walked on the bus and saw the books, and I don't know how I did it, I made it down to the floor, and I had kids crawling on my lap. Even at one point, my leg got a little wet, but that's okay. That's okay, because they're precious. But to see them and the joy and excitement, that's what early literacy, that's where we need to start, and we need to continue. And with these new programs, the U-Fly, our kids, we're going to get above 70% next year. I know it, because we are engaging children. Some didn't want to leave the bus, which I thought was phenomenal. They had to pick 2 books, and boy, that was a big choice for some of them. Some of them were really trying to maybe sneak another one, but they were so cute. How could you stop them? But it was wonderful, and I'm looking so forward to tomorrow and Thursday. I don't care if I get a little wet. It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Long. Mrs. Woodford, it's your turn. Did you hear any board requests?
That's a tough act to follow on the bus. No, a lot of great information, but no board requests.
Thank you. With that and seeing no other business, I adjourn this meeting and we'll move to public participation. Mrs. Hauk, do we have any speakers?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have 11 speakers this morning.
Thank you. We're now receiving public comment on the general business of the district. Please note that the views and comments of the public speakers are their own and not endorsed nor sponsored by the school board or district. We cannot ensure the accuracy of statements made, but will review concerns that are raised and take appropriate action, which may include clarifications or the referral of speakers to the proper staff members for assistance. The board is committed to a standard of civility and decorum in conducting our meetings. This includes refraining from clapping or making audible noises during or after a speaker's comments. We appreciate you assisting us in maintaining a civil and constructive environment. Additionally, please note that although board members or Superintendent Hendrick may leave the dais briefly, there are speakers in the back room, and we will continue to be able to hear your comments. Thank you. Mrs. Hauk?
Thank you, Madam Chair, board members, and Mr. Hendrick. The first two speakers are Kyle Muldean and Laura McCullough.
Take your time.
I'm getting there. Thank you all so much. My name is Kyle Muldean. I am the director for the Boy Scouts of America here in Pinellas County and across the Tampa Bay area. I just wanted to thank Chair Hine and the rest of the school board here, Superintendent Hendricks, and every other esteemed member here for letting me time to speak. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's kind of going on in the community. So scouting as of right now is growing in our community. We have about 10,349 families as of 2023, and that's about 3,413 new families within our community that has joined us. 43 new scouting units.
Excuse me, Mr. Muldean. I apologize.
Yes.
My name is David Kapersky. I'm the school board attorney. Apologies for the interruption, Madam Chair and board members. Just want to speak with Mr. Muldean. Our school board policy that governs public speaking during this time asks that the speakers address school board business. This time is not to be used to promote or advertise outside organizations. So if you want to tell us how what you're talking about relates to school board business, that might be allowable, but it's simply not the time to come up and promote an outside activity for 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so honestly, we're just coming up to talk about kind of how we can partner with the Pinellas County School Board with the new law that went into effect. So if there's anything or any type of possible way that we as the Boy Scouts of America can partner with the Pinellas County Schools, we would be more than open. We would love to talk to you all and see what we can do as an organization to kind of move forward and see what you all can do that we can provide you. So that's realistically why I wanted to come up here, just to talk about that and see what kind of partnership we can do and together in making our community better. That's it. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Laura McCullough, and I'm not sure if I can say this either, but somebody mentioned about elections. So I'm wearing a lanyard from North Pinellas, Indivisible North Pinellas. It's absolutely nonpartisan, and there's a QR code on it. You can scan it, and it will tell you who's running, what their views are, and it will take you to the website of the Superintendent of Elections so that you can make sure that you're registered to vote. You can register to vote on this thing. It's magical. They didn't have this in my day. And I wanted to pass one out to everybody if I can and leave some here. Nobody's leaving this place without one because I'm not taking them back to my car. But I have some for everybody. Can I pass them out to you? Or?
You may feel free to pass them out to whomever wants one, and you can give the board secretary some if you wish.
Okay, thank you very much.
Excuse me. The next two speakers are Lee Bryant and Denise James.
I'm with the Pinellas County Schools. I've been with the Pinellas County School Board for 24 years, and I'm with Pesca, and I'm here for about a $7 raise. I'm nervous, forgive me, but I love working with kids, and we don't get our hands like teachers do. And we do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to come in, we still do a lot. And we still do a lot in the classroom. Even when we don't have substitutes to for teachers that's out. You have teachers that's supposed to come in and help us, but they end up getting the pay and we don't. They'll come and say, are y'all all right? But we don't get that break. But it's just like you got people here, single parents. I'm one, but I thank God that I'm able to send my child to college. But with the pay that we get, it's not enough. We have bills to pay, rent to pay, food on the tables, sending money to our kids. And sometimes we don't get appreciated. But we still come to work because we love the kids. And I don't look at, like, if I'm gonna get this today or tomorrow, I'm there for the kids because I love what I do. And it's just so sad when you see like kids that's hungry come to school dirty. We take the clothes and wash them ourselves, take them home, bring them back. We make sure we have clothes for the kids to change, for kids don't get picked on. I don't mind going to the store getting food because we have some hungry kids out there that don't even get, or you don't know if they eating that night. And then you have some people, like teachers, like they can't come in the classroom, because lunch is over. But as me, because I have a child, I want my child to be treated the same way I would treat somebody else's child. I make sure that child gonna eat because we don't know if they got food at home, if they ate at night, if they got lights or water.
Good morning, Chair Hine, members of the board, Superintendent Hendrick, and staff. My name is Lee Bryant. I am president of the PCTA and the interim executive director for PCTA PESPA, and I'm speaking today on behalf of Nellie Hinges, the PESPA president. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I would like to discuss the reserve requirements and the financial health of our district, as well as the pressing need to support our lowest paid staff members. Florida mandates that school districts maintain a reserve fund of at least 3% in their general fund budget. I am pleased to report that the Pinellas County School Board has a reserve fund of 5.1%, which is commendable. However, I believe that the current circumstances necessitate a reevaluation of how we utilize these reserve funds. We are currently facing a significant financial strain, especially for our lowest paid support staff. The situation can be likened to a severe storm, and it is during such times that reserve funds should be deployed to mitigate the impact. The PCSB needs to consider revising its policy on reserve funds to allow for their boosting of salaries, particularly for our lowest paid employees. Pinellas County should lead by example in raising the minimum wage for all employees. According to the MIT Living Wage Calculator, a living wage in Pinellas County is $22.58 per hour for a single adult with no children and $37.61 per hour for a single adult with one child. Currently, our starting salary is $15 per hour, which falls significantly short of these benchmarks. It is unrealistic to expect our employees to thrive on $15 an hour in this county. Therefore, I urge the board to consider using our reserve funds to increase salaries, ensuring that our employees can live and work with dignity and financial security. This is not just a financial storm, it is a crisis for our employees. Now is the time to act, to use our reserves for their intended purpose, to provide stability and support in times of need. By doing so, we can make a meaningful difference in the lives of our employees and set a positive precedent for others to follow. And that concludes the remarks from Ms. Hinges. I was at the apprenticeship signing this morning. I was delighted. In my 29 years in the school district, I've had a lot of support employees that I wish I could have gotten a chance to get them into the classroom as the lead teacher and not just a support person. So I am very happy that we're taking that step. It says very good things about our county. Thank you for your time.
The next two speakers are Sheila King and Christian Davis.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Christian Davis. I am a PE assistant at an elementary school, TZ school at that. I'm coming to talk about the salary as well. Support staff work tremendously. I'm a black male, so I work Monday through Friday. Coach, I'm a 5,000 role model advisor as well. I work day in and day out. There's not many people on campus that could do what Coach Davis does. I'm getting calls at PE, and I'm like, Coach Davis, could you come do this? Coach Davis, can you come do that? At this point, it's like Coach Davis can't do that anymore. I'm not willing to continue to, I love the kids and I love what I do, but I'm not willing to continue to do what I'm not being paid to do. As a 5,000 role model advisor, sometimes it's hard for us to find sponsorship. So I'm coming out of pocket. I cannot continue to come out of pocket if we're not being paid enough to do so. Like the lady spoke before, dirty clothes, the food. I provide snacks. I provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner for scholars sometimes. I've been out. I've went to Walmart, purchased clothing, but I'm not able to do that anymore if we're not being allowed to do so. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Oh. Hi, my name is Sheila King, and I am an MBA. Also, I work at Fairmount Park, and just to piggyback off of what my coworkers and colleagues are saying, which is true, I feel like we are the lowest on the totem pole. We do go above and beyond, just like you recognized the MBA, Mr. Sapp. We all do that. It's very hard and difficult, especially if you're a single parent. Me, unfortunately, I'm married and I have a dual income, but we still face struggles. I take care of my granddaughter. I take care of my youngest son who has a chronic illness, and on $15 an hour, that's pretty hard. I have to rely on my husband's income, and when my husband is out, my household is struggling. My husband had a stroke a year ago, so he was out of work, so that everything relied on me. It's very hard. Like my coworker said, we go above and beyond. Sometimes we're the teacher, we're the nurse, we're the custodian, we're the behavior specialist. I mean, we do it all. But as a support staff, I feel that we don't get that respect. I feel that we're not getting paid enough. We do go in our pockets and spend our own money to help the kids because we love the kids. We do it because of the kids. We want to be there for the kids. But on $15 an hour, when everybody is making above and beyond, and we're stealing from Peter to pay Paul, it's really hard. I mean, I have a chronic illness. I'm a type 2 diabetic, and you know the supplies and the medication is not cheap. Sometimes I skip out because we don't have enough to maintain. So please consider granting us this raise to help our households, to help some of the single parents who don't have to go, who would not have to go out and work 2 and 3 jobs at a time just to make ends meet. So I just ask that you give the support staff the respect and give us the raise that we deserve, because the Pinellas County School needs the support staff, and I feel that it wouldn't be possible without the support staff in the schools. So thank you for your time.
The next two speakers are Christina Davis and Deborah Harris.
Hello. Same. And I've been out of work. I have an illness too with my thyroid. And it was hard for me too. I had to ask my parents, which is so hard for me because I'm like, I don't want to ask them for help for rent or bills. But I'm like, it's not my baby fault to come in this world. And, you know, it was just hard for bills and stuff. We do go over and beyond for our kids, staff. I also work another job because, you know, just because it's hard. I mean, and you want to thrive and do better, but you want to also keep your job. You don't want to leave and have to work somewhere that you don't want to work, but you want to do this because it's something that you love.
That we are really underpaid. I'm a CDA. I work in a classroom. Like we all say, we love the kids. We do as much as possible as we can, but we're getting to the point where it's coming out of our own pockets. I have 7, 8 nephews and nieces that I have to take care of. When my mom passed away and my brother was gone and his wife was gone, I was stuck, me and my husband. My husband has stage 4 cancer. And like we say, we have to improvise. We have to do 2 and 3 jobs just to make everything fit. And it's like everybody's going through a lot, and it's just not fair that we're not getting paid for what we do a lot. We do everything. We do more and beyond what the teachers does. And I mean, we love the teachers, we love our kids, but it's just not fair that support staff is not getting paid what they should and what they deserve, because we are hard workers and we love what we do. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next two speakers are Carolyn Davis and Diane Holston.
Good morning. Go ahead. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm nervous too. Okay, I'm a paraprofessional for the school board as well. And I'm going to start out with what I wrote. Hello, everyone. My name is Carolyn Davis. I started working for Pinellas County School Board in 2008 at $10 an hour. After 16 years, I still have not reached $17 an hour. According to Social Security Administration, the cost of living has went up 8.7% in 2023. Who's to say how much it's going to go up this year? That being said, any job seeker any job seeker would look elsewhere for employment due to the amount of pay, and the job description entails what the job description. I can't see. I got to take a breath. Okay. What the job description entails, which is contributing to the problem with MBA shortages in our classrooms. These shortages are putting the well-being of our students at risk. As an MBA, our job description is very demanding. Some of the rooms only have one MBA to take on all of the responsibilities themselves. These things include assisting the teacher, changing students, putting them in standards or other equipment for their needs, dressing them for swimming, assisting in the pool, putting them on bikes, and so on. As an MBA, we are expected to ride the bus with our students, which is necessary for our medically fragile students and behaviors. Some of the MBAs are driving up to 20 to 30 miles a day to meet their bus with no compensation. Riding the buses can also be challenging due to behaviors. There are risks of students or staffs being injured, and we are responsible for their safety. If the pay rate increases, the MBA position will be more attractive and MBAs will stay on the job. A pay increase will only be the best for the best interest of everybody involved. Sorry. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Diane Holston? Okay, thank you. Lee Hua Young?
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Hwa-young Lee. I came from the South Korea, and then 2021, I moved from the California, San Diego to the Florida to join and support my elderly parents who are having education experience. So in the California, I should involve my family business once I finish my MBA degree, other industry. But I still have a heart once I join with my elderly parents in here, Florida. So I decided to go back to the educational field. It was 2022 and 2023 school year. 20 minutes. During the 20 minutes, I came back to the educational field. But I was excited that the first year as a substitute teacher in Pinellas County School, and everyone very supportive. I have a degree, but I'm the supporting person to how important of a supporting system in the educational field. So, but once I started working as a substitute teacher in the Fairmont Park Elementary School, I got a job offer from my principal, and also all the my VPK. I'm working as a CDA, but all the VPK team wanted to work with me, so I decided getting the job offer. But I feel like I became a student again, and then I became a full-time employee in the Pinellas County School Board, but I got a less payment every month compared with even the substitute teaching. So I'm not alone to pay extra money out of my pocket to get some more educational, new, clean education material to my children. So I very hesitate to come over here because some of them just suffering from the hardship and over the 20 years, 30 years, but I'm just new here. But the thing is, I do not want to leave this educational field because of the money. So thanks for listening. Okay.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no more speakers.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here today.